Hi guys, you alright? So I am very aware that it has been a long time since I've made a chatty video. Like, I know I put Crashing Waves up the other week, so that was something, but I've clearly moved. I don't know if you can tell, but I'm in a different room. So yes, I've moved. Not really going to get into that, a lot of things going on in life that I'm just not going to get into, but I am here for a video today. So basically what we're going to do today, totally not a new concept. Basically it's a Q&A. Obviously people have done Q&As on YouTube for years, and recently there's been a trend of people asking their Instagram followers to give them questions for Q&As. I know people used to do it on Twitter, so using other social medias. Again, not a new concept, not trying to say I'm original. But I got a few responses, so that's what today's video is gonna be. So if you do enjoy this video, please make sure you give it a massive thumbs up. If you don't, give it a dislike, do what you want, I don't care. And if you potentially want to be featured on another one of these videos, follow me on all my other social medias at DWJonesUK, and that information will still be down below. But don't forget to subscribe to this channel and so that you know exactly when I post a new video. So now let's get into some questions. So first off, Tony has said, "Hi David." Hi Tony, you alright? So I know that wasn't really a question, but that's where we're starting with this. Then we get into my good friend Amelia Lappert. Amazing singer, go check her stuff out because I love her. She has said, "How's life?" And it's pretty good, thanks. As I said, I've just moved. Oh, sirens. How rude. So yeah, Amelia said, "How's life?" It's pretty good. Yeah, I've just moved, got my own freedom back, thank the Lord. So yeah, all in all, pretty good. Okay, so next we've got a pretty good question. What is my dream job? Now, many people, if you follow this channel, you might expect that I'm probably gonna say a singer, songwriter, something along those lines. And that is exactly what my answer is. Like, I love music, I love YouTube, so like anything in this kind of like entertainment, performing, creative kind of role, that's my dream job. And George sent in another good question saying, do I want any tattoos? And if so, what would I get? Now, I'm not really sure if I actually am gonna get any tattoos, but I have thought about what I would get if I got any. So one, and people are gonna think this is cliche, but my favorite number is the number 8. So I'd get just the number 8, probably just in black. And people might think that it looks like an infinity sign, because obviously they're very similar, but you know how the number 8 is actually smaller on the top and bigger on the bottom? That's how it would be. So people would probably think I've got like a really bad infinity sign, but I'd still be able to explain it like 8's my favorite number, this is why I've done it. And the other tattoo I've thought of is like almost similar to a Star of David, because obviously my name's David. So like, you know how a Star of David is like a triangle going this way and then a triangle going that way, so it makes like a star going round. Well, what my tattoo would be 2 squares going round each other, so it made an 8-point star. So it's kind of similar to the Star of David for my name, but then again going with the 8 theme, because 8's my favorite number. And that also might help me explain if anyone said, "Oh, you got an infinity tattoo, how basic." I could be like, well actually no, it's clearly the number 8, and I've got this other one that's an 8-point star that proves that 8 is my favorite number. So that's my tattoos explained. That is, if I decide to get them ever. So let's go back to some questions from Tony. You gay? Yes. And then he says, "How many balls you got?" Well, I assume we're just talking about the balls that I think you're talking about. If it's that case, 2. I mean, I've also got 2 eyeballs, so then we could kind of count 4. And then, oh god, if we start going into like ball and socket joints and stuff, that's gonna go far too far. And also, I'm not really into sports, so I don't have any like tennis balls or footballs or anything like that. So let's just say, assuming you're meaning what I think you mean, it's 2. Otherwise, you could go with 4 and potentially more if we're counting ball and sockets, but let's just go with 2. Then he says, "How many toes you got?" 10. Then he goes into, "Is it true you want to be a tranny?" Now, this is kind of problematic because you've just said tranny, you haven't said transsexual or transgender. Very different things. Kinda need you to be a bit more specific. But the answer to both is no. Okay, so now I think we've got past from those really great questions from Tony. Now we're gonna move on to Lucy. What's the worst thing I've encountered while I've been working on a bar? Now I've looked through most of these. Tip of the tongue, the tip of the lips. Now, I've looked through most of these questions before I started filming, and I did kind of think of some answers, but I haven't really thought much about this one. I have made a video about like stupid things that people do on bars. One guy that sticks out from that video is a guy that thought we hadn't put vodka in his drink, even though they were remade and remade again because he was still complaining. So that's happened, like you get stupid people. And then I've also seen people that come in like when a bar's just opening, or maybe it's just a quiet night and they're clearly too drunk to be served. They've probably been everywhere else in whatever city it was, and people probably keep telling them they're too drunk to be served, so they move on somewhere else. And then when I refuse to serve them, they turn around and say, oh well, no wonder it's dead in here if you're not going to serve people. But I'm sorry, I can't change the law just because there's no one here. Like, it doesn't matter how busy or not a bar is, I can't just ignore the law. I've also seen / heard of fights that we're probably not going to mention because they involve certain people. So I think that's some of the worst things that I've seen. Then we've got a question from Rob that says, do you give or take? Well, Rob, it was only you and me there last night, and so we both know the answer to that, and I think we're going to leave it at that, aren't we? And then we get into a question from Alicia that says, does your dad sell Avon? Yeah, me da sells Avon. I feel like that's getting into the point of like, hey, your da sells Avon. Hey, your da sells Avon. Or like, how do you work out your Avon representative name? You take your da's first name and your da's surname.
Because your da sells Avon.
And I think the last question we've got is from Ajitsia, who says, who is your favourite co-worker at P's and Q's? So that's where I currently work, and to be honest, I love all the staff that I work with. Like, I think we all get on, we've got a nice bond. But you know what, Ajitsia, since you asked this question, I'm gonna say you. And yeah, that's all the questions that got sent in. So if you did enjoy this video, again, please give it a massive thumbs up. And if you didn't enjoy it, give it a dislike. Do what you want, I don't care. But if you want to watch another video just like this one, there's a couple right over there that you can watch right now. And a subscribe button below me that you should click because I post new videos all the time. And hit that notification bell so you know exactly when. And I'll see you soon.